Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the build. We are now on part 14th of our 1350 Refit Enterprise build. So let's get right to work. So I've been mainly puttying and sanding this week. We got the front of the pylon or the neck. I've still got some puttying to do here and down here. This is pretty much done on the back, except for a little bit of work there. So we got this pretty good. And I've mainly been working on the primary hull here, or primary or secondary hull. So I did putty in this seam, and then I went and looked at pictures, and nope, this seam exists on the actual studio model. I got a nice picture of it at the Christie's auction. So I sanded it all off, and I've been rescribing this line all the way around slowly. Still got this to do. But yeah, I'm slowly rescribing this line, which is going to be kind of difficult because some of the resin that I used to connect these two parts spilled over here, so I got to be carving that all back in down here. This is pretty good up to here, but yeah, I got that to do, and I got this to do. I've got putty on these things. These things are looking pretty good. I think I got one more round to do here. Got a little bit of a dip in the center. I got this little divot taken care of. The backs are not easy to get to, so you have to do these with my microfiles here. But yeah, I've got the backs are pretty taken care of. On the other side here, yeah, that's pretty good. I still have to put a little bit of putty in there. I have to yet to get the pylons. As you can see, there's that seam there. I have to putty those, and then there's the rear here. I lost some of my scribe line, and I don't know if this is in a studio model. It's hard to get actually a rear view of the ship, but I don't know if this line here that goes whoop around here exists. I know this does because this is part of the grid pattern, but I don't know if this does, so we'll have to look at that. And then the other thing is underneath here, putting a big old slab of Tamiya putty on there to basically create a flat surface here. This was not lining up with this, so this is pretty much dry now. Put this on yesterday, so we're gonna start sanding this, and I still have to do that. No, that's good. How about that? That's good. So that's been the bulk of this week so far, is puttying and sanding and prepping for paint. So I'm gonna get back to work sanding, doing a little rescribing, puttying some more, and I'll catch you back when this thing is done. Hey guys, well, nah, I didn't put a video up last Friday because I've just been puttying, and the thing about puttying is it doesn't really look like you've done anything all week. So it's like I looked at the end of the week. I'm like, it looks like I didn't do anything, so I'm not gonna bother. I'm gonna see what we do. So now we're on Tuesday of the following week. Putty rescribe, putty rescribe. Let's look at the neck first. Let's get everything caught in my scissors. Here's the neck. I got the light blocking on it. I've actually went through and I've wet sanded this. It's nice and silky smooth. And a little water there. I noticed there was a little bit of you could still see the seam a little bit after I got done wet sanding, so I went and reputtied that and the back there. My rescribe line is in here. It doesn't look too bad. Same thing up front with the underside of this. Rescribe those. They don't look too bad. This, yeah, instead of masking it off, I just decided I'll just mask off around it and repaint this gray when everything is said and done. I got these masked off, this vent. I forgot to mask off these little lights. So I'll have to go back in with a toothpick and some lacquer thinner and just hopefully that paint will come off. It should. And I think that's it for the neck. I'm gonna when this is dry, I'm gonna sand that off. I'm going to wet sand it again, and then I'm going to buff it. I'm getting fingerprints, as you can see. Look at that finger grease all over it. That's okay. We're going to wet sand it again. So that's the neck. The body is a different story. I'm starting to mask it off for paint. I got the top here masked off. Yeah, that thing's masked off here. I've got my pylons, the masks are just sitting here. I have to... I love this yellow tape, but it is literally no tack. It'll stick to everything but what you want it to as well. So I just want a little bit of the pylons masked off. They don't have to be fully masked. The big work. Let's turn this bad boy over. Has been this right here. Oh, that's smooth. This thing. I don't know if you can see it. There's about almost 2 millimeters worth of putty built up here, and this is mainly what I've been working on, is getting this fantail up to spec. I was going to sand. I was just gonna, because there was a gap here, I was just gonna basically sand off the bottom here to match this, but it would have messed up the angle, and I think I would have got a little bit of an underbite here. So instead, I just filled it with putty, layer after layer of putty. This is probably like 6-7 layers of putty, slowly building it up, and then sanding it. And then you have to get this angle right, you have to get this angle right, and then there's a curve. So it's been kind of a beast, this angle. This isn't a scribe line, by the way. I looked at the studio model, and these grid lines don't, there's no cap. It doesn't come down whoop like that. These grid lines just end. These 1, 2, 3 grid lines just end right here. It doesn't encapsulate it with another grid line right here, so I filled that with putty. I also filled, there was another grid line that went around here, and I didn't see that on any of the screenshots or any of the pictures of the model from the Christie's auction, so I just filled that in. The other reason I did that is because it'd be nearly impossible for me to scribe that along the edge I've fixed, so that'd be gone. Now I just got some putty on here, my fantail. This is the big procrastination I've been doing, is filling in this gap in the fantail just because of the complexity of it. So I've got masking tape here. I've got this filled. We're gonna wait till this dries. I can see that I can see it's going down right in here. I can actually see it where the putty went in there. And putty shrinks, by the way. When you use putty, it will shrink when it's drying, so you're not going to get away with one round of putty. You can really see it over here. You can see it right there. See where that still has a little bit of a ditch over on this side. See that plain as day. So I need this to dry. I'll probably sand that off. Actually, I might just add another thing of putty. Get this to where I want it, because during the sanding, I'm pretty much going to destroy this masking tape. So I just want to do it once, if at all possible. And I still have to put something in here to mask down there. I've got the putty on these 2 little gaps here on the sides. There's tiny little gaps over here. So that is where we are at right now. While I've been waiting for putty to dry and paint to dry on the neck, I went back and I revisited my nacelles. So I'm getting more done. The last I left the nacelles, I just left the putty dry on here. So the little divot in here is gone. This little divot back here is gone. I've got the top there pretty much done. That's pretty much ready to go. Same thing with the bottom. There wasn't much of a seam there. I have to correct some stuff. I can see it right up here. You can see it. I have to correct that. But the bottom looks pretty good. All along here, I have to replace some of the details in here, which is why I don't mind if you can still see the seam here or in here. Back here too, I'm going to replace that, or I'm just going to put some styrene over that. Already got the pieces cut out. That's that nacelle. The other nacelle looks a little worse for wear, but it's coming along. This is smooth right here, and you can see a lot of putty, but it is smooth. Same thing up here. So, and the top too. You get that pretty much down to the plastic in some places just to get that even. So yeah. that's what I've been doing. So now I'm going to be working on the fantail on this, and this is almost done. And then I think what I'm going to do is paint these two pieces separately, and when they're done, I'm going to put the neck onto here, just because of the detail painting that I don't want to do when they're together, like this, or the blue stripe right here, a little blue, nice duck egg blue along here from here to here. And there's some little details here and there, like this is gray, which I may just hand paint that because it's be more of a pain to mask it off and just do this. I don't know yet. So I'm gonna get back to work, and I'll update you hopefully when the neck is done and when I've got more putty work done on this. I might even go back and clean off the nacelles. They need to be wiped down. There's dust and my fingerprints all over them, so I need to wipe these down and put another shot of black on them just to see what they look like. So I'm gonna get back to work. I'll be back in a second. Alright guys, we've got the gap back here pretty much done. I still have some sanding to do here and then on the other side there, but this is pretty much full. I will have to repaint this. It's going to get blacked out anyways. Just managed to save my decal here. I'll have to mask that off when I go to paint this. I'm going to have to put something in here, a better mask than what I've got around the edges here, and fill this with something, I think tissue or something. Just need to block the paint. I'm not going to be spraying necessarily this direction too much. It's more this direction. And when I go to paint this white, I'm going to temporarily tack on the shuttle bay. That comes all the way up to this edge here. So I'll tack that in there so I won't get paint in my shuttle bay. But as it stands, that's pretty much done. Hopefully. I won't really know until I get the primer on here. I have to do touch-ups. But yeah, so I'll mask off these lines and paint this black again. And the underneath is done. That is done. That's really what I've been working on this week. I do have the let's see if that'll stand. I'll put that there. There we go. So I do have a little bit more work on the nacelles done. Just really mainly tidying up stuff like little divots I'm seeing in there or back here. I gave this thing a wet sanding. There we go. Words come to brain. And I fixed this up a little bit. We're going to need to wet sand that down a little. Same thing with back here. This thing, I think that's pretty much all I did on this nacelle. Outside of the top, I got a few places that I put a little bit more putty in. But this is pretty much ready for paint again. The other one here is also in that shape. I got a few things to do. I have to still mask this off on this one. Or not this one. It's not this one. It was the other one. Yeah, this one I still have to mask off the outside grill. There it is. This grill right here, I have to mask this off. But as far as the seam goes, I'm pretty good on this. We'll have to see once I get primer down here if there's anything else. It feels really smooth. Feels right. So the neck is in white right now. Let me show that off. Give me a second here. Alright guys, here's the neck. It's about 4 coats in, 4 or 5 coats. I have lost track. But I saw it was uneven, especially along the photon deck here. So I gave it another coat. Also, I need to hit up in here too. I will repaint the photon deck gray. I need to put my blue, duck egg blue line in there. And I think that's all I'm going to do for the detail painting on this. Yeah, I literally just got shot with paint. That's why it looks so glossy. I will be waiting for this to dry, and if it looks good, I'll be putting a gloss over this. And then after that's fully dried, I'll be masking and repainting. And then I might put a, depending on how it looks, I might have to wet sand in between putting the gloss coat on. Before I put the gloss coat on, taking some really, really high grit, like 2000 grit sandpaper to it, doing a little bit of wet sanding. I don't know, it looks pretty good. I think I got everything this time. So we'll see. I also cleaned up my desk. So I got all my paints organized. Paints I'm currently using are right here. I got sandpaper and stuff in there. These paints will go in there when I'm done with this. But I have a lot more room now. Organized all my wires. Put a bunch of those away. And just basically just organized everything. It's always nice to go through and organize, especially when stuff starts to get out of hand. Still have to organize that thing right there. I've got a dinner plate. I forgot that was in there, but yeah, so that's got to get reorganized a little bit. I need to mess with my mounts over there. And then I need to reorganize my closet. And then there's that mess. That needs to go somewhere, I don't know where. I got a tower and a monitor there I got to do something with. All that junk. My guitar area is not bad, just got boxes I got to move. So yeah, I'm moving my way across the room. Not even going to show you my computer station. That looks like garbage. So yeah, everything's getting cleaned. The floor needs a vacuuming though. Look at all that. Look at all that mess. That's horrible. I shouldn't show that off. Anyways, so that is going to call it for this week. Not a huge update. I apologize, but I've been in puttying and sanding. Not much you can do. You gotta wait for the putty to dry and cure, and then sand away. Next week, I'd like to get some paint on this. I'd like to at least get the primer on. I've already started to mask it off a little bit. Need to fix these masks and that mask there. What I think I'm gonna do before I attach the neck is do my detail painting on here. So I'll get the primer on. I'll see where I need to fix stuff. Need to reputty stuff. I already know there's a couple of places behind the pylons that I need to work on, and probably that deck back there. But after that, we're going to get the primer. We're going to get the white paint on. I don't really need to light block my pylons too much. But we're going to get, once we get the white on, I'm going to do the detail painting along the pylons. That gets, the very edge gets duck egg blue, so we'll put that on. And a couple other spots get a little bit of paint. I'm not putting the deflector dish on. That's actually currently holding up the shuttle bay. Perfect height. So I'm not going to worry about that. I'm trying to think if there's any other real detail painting I want to do in here. Not much. So once we get the white on, we'll start to do that. And then we'll get that neck down. Once we get all that, it's just really just duck egg blue along the edges. So we'll get that done. So that's the plan for next week, getting paint on here and seeing what we need to fix. Hopefully it won't be as bad as I think it will be. So sorry about the kind of lackluster updates. They have not much going on, but a lot going on at the same time. So I want to thank everyone for watching. I want to thank all my old subs, all my new subs. You guys are equally rad. And until next time, you guys take care.